Hello. Okay, so this is a Python Turtle tutorial 1. So this is a tutorial series on making a game with Python Turtle. It will tell you all the basics and give you a lot of good information of making a game in Python Turtle. Python Turtle is really easy to learn, and making a game is a step forward in coding. And then after that, you can use like Godot, Unity, and Unreal Engine to make games. So this is just like to show the works, to show you how code in Python Turtle and making a game. Okay, this is number 1. So let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna make this fast and simple. So import turtle, import math. So you have to import all these things. It's good to import all these things because like in every Python turtle game, import this. You don't even know. Like you always want to import turtle because I'm using REPL, and if I don't import turtle, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, see? So then I always import turtle. Import math, import random, import time will be useful later. Okay, this is setting up the screen. This is really important. Basically, in any Python turtle game, it's good to do this. It's really good. So you wn equals turtle.screen. wn.setup, this is basically telling the width, like 800 over 800. Okay, wn.color, so it's basically saying the color. So if I want the color to be how about let's say red. The color will be red. So red, I type red here, and then I run the program. You will see the BG color is red. BG basically means background. Okay, so it's gonna be white now. White. Oh, I spelled white wrong. Okay. Now drawing the black box. So do you see that black box over there? We're drawing that. Okay, so you basically have to say turtle equals turtle whenever you're making a new turtle to draw anything. So you have to first hide the turtle to set the position here. So um so if I don't hide turtle, it will still be the same thing. Let me show you. Yeah, it will still be the same thing. Okay, so like you don't need hide turtle. I add it just in case if I want to add like a screen where it says like press space to start, stuff like that. But it's not needed to say hide turtle first. So you're defining the speed of the how the thing draws the box. You're defining the speed of how fast it draws the box. You're defining the color. So you're defining the border color. I define that as black. You do pen up. Pen up is really important because if I'm setting a position, I always want to do pen up most of the time. So if I don't, so bam, this is what happens when it does do pen up. So I basically wanted to set the position to negative 300 over 300. It goes here. It goes here. So then it basically draws a line. So pen up basically just says, no, don't draw a line while you're going to someplace. Okay, pen up. And I made a mistake. I am sorry. So do you see this turtle here at the edge? This is basically this is what happens when you don't do high turtle. So it's basically always good to do high turtle first. Bam. It's always good to do high turtle because if you don't, this happens. If you don't, a small caret will appear here. It's not that annoying, but just it just sometimes it makes it look a little bit bad. Okay, and then basically defines the pen size, so the border pen size. That's why it looks a little bit different. And then you do pen down. This basically means whenever you say pen up and you want it to draw back again, you do pen down. Okay, so this is the loop of drawing the square. So whenever you want to do a loop, you do for side and range 4, for side and range 3, for side and range 5. That's how many times you want to loop it. So I want to do 4 because I'm drawing a box. And this is how you draw a box in Python Turtle. You basically do, so whatever the turtle's name, my name is bpen. So B pen forward 600 and then left, and then it repeats that 4 times to make a box. So it's forward 600, left 90. Okay. Now we're creating the player table, which you see is the red box. And let me run it just to show like the box thing. See, you see that's the box. Now we're creating the player, which can move around and then it doesn't get off the screen. Okay, let's make the player. So create player title. So player equals title.title. This is always needed whenever you create a new title. You define the color as red or anything you want. The shape as square. You could also do triangle if you want. You define the speed as 0 most of the time, but basically anything, any title you create that wants to be the player. And then player.pen up. I explained to you what that was. You should get it. And set position 0 to 0. Set position is basically Python Twiddle uses a grid, okay? Uses a grid. It's 2D. So then I want to set position 0, 0, the origin of the grid. So set position 0, 0. And so basically player dot left this 90. And then you're defining some variables for the player. This will be important later. So player speed equals 20 and 10 speed equals 90. Those are important. Okay. Now we're defining how the player moves. So basically, define move left. So x equals player.x coordinate. It defines that's the player.x coordinate. X minus equals player speed. So the x coordinate is minus the player speed, which is 20. So whenever I move left, the x coordinate goes minus 20. So it goes to left. Okay, now we're defining the box. So then basically, let me run it. So basically, do you see here? It can't move beyond the box. Now we're doing that. So if the x coordinate is greater than negative 280, which is the box, then x equals negative 280. So it basically limits the player movement beyond negative 280. Okay, then we do player.setX, which is that set x equals x because I defined x here, so I have to set x here. It might be a little bit complicated, but keep moving forward, guys. Okay, move right. So define move right. It's the same thing as move left, but just with positive x coordinates. Okay? Move backward equals, basically, it's the same thing as move left, but with y coordinates. Okay? And then move forwards, it's the same thing as move right, but with, you guessed it, positive y coordinates. Yes, this is negative y coordinates. This is positive. Bam. It's not that different. You can copy down this code. It's also in the link in the description. Okay, this is how you do the input. So you need the title to listen. WN was basically this. That's why I always set up the screen first to do the listen. So you need title to listen. And it's like if on key, move backward. So I define move backward. And then down, basically down is just the down arrow. And then up is the up arrow and left is the left arrow and right is the right arrow. So it's basically on key move left and moves left. So bam, you got it. You got a player that you can move around. It has full control. That's pretty cool, right? So this is my Python title tutorial part 1. If you liked it, please subscribe and do all those stuff. Thank you. I will put part 2 later, and this code is in the link in the description.